Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official press conference reaction. Unlike other fan channels, we react live as the boss goes through the questions today at 12 o'clock. But we've got 10-15 minutes roughly before he actually goes live. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss a couple of topical bits coming out. We're going to discuss Bellingham later on in. We're going to discuss Bellingham later on. I can hear myself. That's absolutely throwing me off. There we go. Sorry the sound out. We're going to discuss, Jude Bellingham on later show. Basically, my brain's not functioning. On the show later on today. So today, just before the press conference, we've got a few little bits about the ownership, bits about Marcus Rashford, and then when he goes live in roughly 10-15 minutes, then we will be discussing that as well. We've got Vincent in the chat, who's a regular, saying protest will be happening at the Villa game at home. Very interesting. And he's saying, hi, hello to you, Vincent. I hope you're doing well. Dan saying, going to be tough for us without Rashi and Garnacho. Yeah, where's the directness coming from? That's the thing in it. Again, we'll touch on that very shortly. So make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, share to a friend, all that good stuff. And we'll dive into a little bit of the topical news now. Let me just get a drink first, because my brain isn't functioning without. Where's it gone? Oh no! Oh, actually, I've got cartons. All right. My little cute cartons of oranges, aren't they? I'm saying, pop one of them out. Pop that back. Oh, everything's just. Oh, the fridge ain't shutting now. Oh, what an absolute nightmare that was. Right. Anyway, let's get back to the news. So yeah, like I said, make sure you smash the like on the video, subscribe, share to a friend, all that good stuff. Now we'll start with the ownership situation. Literally 12 minutes till 10 HAG goes live, so we won't spend too long on this. But the ownership situation, Simon Stone had just recently put a tweet out saying it had initially hoped the sale process of Manchester United would be completed by the end of the season, but additional time for new bids means that it is now unlikely to happen. So is this summer transfer window gone, demolished, all plans completely throughout the window? What effect does this? If he goes live this time, yeah, true. Could be later, who knows? But we're hoping he's going live at 12. But yeah, the ownership situation, summer transfer window, is it demolished? What do we do? Where do we go from here? How does Erik ten Hag, how could he possibly make plans to sign people if he doesn't know what the finances are going to be? Is it going to be, just Kane and then whoever it is who comes in next, if they take over halfway through the summer, are we going to be struggling for deals? Is if it Qatar come in, let's say, for example, they just could be throwing money at players towards the end of the window to convince them to come, because that's the way I see it going at the minute. It's not, it won't be completed. It'd be dragging on after the season. So if everybody remembers the window we had last year, where we're all complaining because the targets that we went for, I think we had Darwin Núñez as a target. We had spoken about Antony, but that was just kind of floating about. We didn't go in for him then. Yuri and Timber was a target, but then that didn't happen, so we had to go for others. And sometimes this happens in summer transfer windows. It's not like out of the norm. These things do happen. But the way we went about it, the 12 year, it felt like 12 years. The 12-week saga with De Jong was just unacceptable, flying back and forth to Barcelona. The stuff with Rabiot, the stuff with Arnautovic, like, it was just an absolute shamble. Overpaying for Antony, overpaying for Lissandro, regardless how much of a talent he is. We overpaid at the time in regards to his market value, So that's one annoying thing about it, of course. That's one of the biggest annoying things about it. What's to say there's not going to be another round of bidding? If it gets to the deadline of April and then selfish, greedy twat, turn around and say, oh, no, we've not hit the financial figures that we want today, so we're going to push it up again, and then it's going to drag through even more. Like, would you really put it past them? Because I wouldn't. And that's another worry for me. It's just pure greed. Pure greed. They literally couldn't give less of a fuck if they tried about this club. When you thought you couldn't hate him anymore, I said this to Sam yesterday. When you thought you couldn't hate him anymore, they go and do something like this. They announce selling the club, and then they drag the United fans absolutely through the mud with it. Waiting for the Glazers announced him selling the club in November. We're now in April. Nearly 6 months waiting for the sale of a club. I know these things sometimes take time, but you can't tell me the offers that have already gone in aren't acceptable offers. The club's worth, I think on the stock market, it's worth 2.5 billion. Anyone in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. It's worth 2.5 billion, and we're asking for triple the price of it. It's outrageous, absolutely outrageous. Another concern I've got as well is, will any of the buyers get cold feet now? You know, if they keep getting pushed up and pushed up and pushed up, like there's only so much they're gonna bid before they're just like, you know what, this is getting absolutely ridiculous. Like we're just gonna cut ties now. I'm gonna go out of the bidding, and then once one goes out of the bidding, because the competition is less significant, the other one has a stronger stance, and then they'll be like, well, I don't have to pay as much. You know, your bid has gone. The person who I'm bidding against is gone in that respect. So it's very, very frustrating at the minute. Like United fans, including myself, I'm getting completely pissed off with the whole debacle. How long it's literally anything we do as a club, with Manchester United, whether it's transfers, whatever, literally whatever it is surrounding the club, we take ages doing it. Remember how long Bruno Fernandes took? Remember how long Jadon Sancho took? Like we're criminally bad at just negotiating in general. And this isn't the Glazers aren't even really negotiating. They're just sat there saying, yeah, keep offering more, keep offering more, keep offering more. That's what they're doing. But it's being dragged out is the point I'm making. And we drag everything out. So yeah, now we've got another 2 weeks. Deadline is, I believe, the 28th of April. just sighing it. You're just like, can't be asked. I can't be bothered. Just we've got shit to do. You know what I mean? We've got players to sign. We've got a pre-season to prepare for. Last season, we had one player, one of our new signings on the plane, and that was Malacia for pre-season, which obviously affects the cycle of how the season goes because players haven't gelled together and they haven't worked together before. They haven't had a run of games. The fitness as well, where's the fitness levels at? Like, it just ruins the whole pre-season. And I think now, with this news coming out, both pre-season and the transfer window's ruined. Might sound dramatic. It might sound like, you know, but I genuinely believe that. I think the transfer window's fucked. I really do. Vincent saying, yeah, the Glazers are like a guy that gives all talk. When you offer him out, he brings his brother with him. Or his uncle, Vincent, innit? He's like, I've got an uncle that'll do this. Yeah, that's the Glazers for you. They're trying to create a bidding war, but none of the buyers are biting, so they keep creating these round of bids to encourage it. Yeah, they're just trying to get, essentially, just trying to get closer and closer to that £6 billion mark, aren't they? That's how it's going. Yeah, I want to touch on Marcus Rashford before the press conference starts, and then of course we will react to that live, if it is going live at 12. Because last time, as Sam touched on before, when I did a press conference, they took about an hour. They extended it by an hour, so let's hope that isn't the case today. Because otherwise, we're going to be diving into topics that are on the show later on. So, yeah, Marcus Rashford. I've had a little bit of news on Rashford coming in from a few journalists. Apparently, he is going to be out for a few games, but Manchester United said he will be back in the running. It's obviously a problem for Eric Ten Hag to solve. Who is going to step in for Marcus Rashford over these next couple of weeks? He's been our main goal-scoring threat. He's scored 40% of our goals. Who's going to step in? Because Sancho, Antony, Martial, all these guys, with all due respect, they've all had their own kind of problems. Antony's still settling in, bedding in first season. Got a few goals, decent goals as well, in fairness. But do you look at him and say, yeah, he's someone who can take that goal scoring mantle and goal score double figures? I don't know just yet. I'm not in that kind of realm just yet. Then you've got Jadon Sancho, who's been very iffy. Was good in the last game, have to admit, put my hands up, but he's not exactly a goal scoring threat at the minute. You know, he put in a good assist for Scott McTominay, but you don't look at him and think, yeah, he's going to get you the goals. Weghorst hasn't even scored a league goal yet. Literally hasn't scored a league goal yet. Bruno Fernandes isn't scoring as frequently as he used to. I know his game's a bit more refined. He's been playing deeper in some games and different roles, various across the pitch. But one of these guys is going to have to look at the situation and say, look, one of us is going to have to step up here because Rashford has been scoring a lot of our goals. A lot of our goals. And the worrying thing is, what games is he going to miss? So Manchester United's next few games, let's have a look. Because obviously he's going to miss Sevilla. He's definitely going to miss that game tomorrow. And then he's probably going to miss Nottingham Forest as well. So will he miss? We've got Sevilla, Nottingham Forest, Sevilla again. And then Brighton in the FA Cup. That's on the 22nd of April. So will he miss that game as well? If it's a few games, maybe he'll just miss tomorrow night, Nottingham Forest on Sunday, and then the return leg, which isn't too bad. Forest are bottom of the table pretty much. Sevilla are bottom of their table. I think they're like 13th, but they're not far away from relegation. So they're not the worst games in the world, are they, to miss in that regard. It could have been worse. But even still, I don't know where the goal scoring is going to come from. Really don't know where the goal scoring is going to come from. Vincent's saying, well, on MUTV, it says 12:30 to 1:15. It says, what I've got here, it just says 12 BST. And I'm on the United app, so I'm just presuming it's that. But we'll see. We'll find out. If Garnacho wasn't out as well, wouldn't be as bad. But the fact they've got both injured is worrying. That's what I mean. Where's your directness coming from? You talk about balance in a football team. If you've got Sancho on the left-hand side, Anthony on the right, Weghorst up top, where's your pace coming from? Where's your threat in behind? Anthony's quick-ish, but he's not Rashford pace. He's not as direct as Rashford. So you lose that. So then whoever it is who's coming up against us, Sevilla tomorrow night, they'll be like, we don't have to worry about anything going in that way. Everything is going to be in front of us. And they're quite an intelligent team anyway. So it's one less dynamic to worry about. It's the best player that's out. Like, teams will look at that and be like, look, we don't have to worry as much. The best player's out. And it gives, obviously, a massive advantage to that team with him being out. Will he come back in the same form as well? That's another. Martial's a very good point. I hope Martial stays fit, because if he doesn't, if we've got Garnacho, Martial, and Rashford out, that's arguably our best attackers this season, to be honest. So that is worrying, especially when we've been lacking goals as well. I'm pretty sure our goal scoring record this season, we've got like 6 goals in the league or something. Like, not 6 goals in general, but I mean, like, in terms of our goal difference. I'm pretty sure it's 6, 7 goals, something along the lines of that. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way. We're about to go live for the press conference. I think we'll probably get more clarity on the Marcus Rashford situation from the gaffer himself. So let's see if he gets asked, can't speak, about that today. I can't speak. So yeah, Marcus Rashford, hopefully not out for too long. Hopefully he can come back. If he misses, like I said, the Sevilla game, and he misses Nottingham Forest and the return, that's absolutely fine. I think we'll smash Sevilla anyway. Sevilla are poor shit team. They conceded loads of goals, Sevilla, honestly. They conceded, I think I was listening to something the other day, they conceded 6 against Atletico Madrid. They conceded 4 twice in the Champions League. So the defense is very leaky regardless. And I think we should get the job over the line. Should be in the keyword there. Shah Sam saying we've got Casemiro, Eriksen, and Martial will be okay without Rashford. I hope so. Obviously, Casemiro and Eriksen being back is absolutely fantastic news. They kind of unlock other players around him, don't they? Which is nice. So maybe we'll be all right. I don't know. Adam saying, what do you get when you combine human DNA with whale DNA? Go on. I'm listening. Martial could be injured by tomorrow. That's what I mean. Kick out of SeaWorld, apparently. Nice. I like it. Right. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Counting down till we go live for this press conference. Let's see what Erik ten Hag has to say. We're going live to Erik now. No, I'm joking. Well, it's about to come on. So let's see. It does say 12 o'clock BST. So I'm hoping, unlike last time, it doesn't just completely say, oh, we've postponed it because someone's popped his tire or something along the lines. Like, yeah, we're going live. So we're good. It's on. Let's see what the gaffer has to say. It's live. The only fan channel, I believe, that does it live. Press conference reactions live. So that deserves a like. Smash a like on the TV. Smash a like on the channel. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Get your comments in as I go through these topics. Let's see what the manager has to say. Mr. Erik. Here we go. It's just a bit of you kind of polished media on MUTV at the start, which I can't stand. It's so like MUTV is so. If it was paint, it'd be fucking Magnolia. If it was a packet of crisp, it'd be ready salted. If it was a drink, it'd be tap water. So mundane and like boring and like not. I think the only time I've ever seen something about that's being criticised is when Lou Macari was on. Do you remember? And he was saying not good enough and all this kind of stuff. And I bet everyone in the MUTV production team was behind the cameras like, oh my God. Okay, now. Last time was quite something. Longest press conference watch along. I know I had to fill time, didn't I? Literally, I had to fill time. But that's, I don't know, benefits of live, I suppose. Right, come on. I'm gonna have to turn my fucking fingers off as well because all my notifications are coming through, and it'll just basically tell me every quote before I've seen it. So I want to get a proper live reaction to this. Quick Johnny Vamp. Am I missing something there? I can't speak. I don't think I could ever work for MUTV. I really couldn't. It's too nicey. It's too like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, fantastic. Even though we've lost 5 in a row, it's great news. Blah blah blah. Pull your finger out, love. What's going on? David De Gea is sat alongside Erik ten Hag in a press conference. It'll definitely be asked about his contract, probably. Spanish translation as well. But David De Gea is Spanish, so I'm sure it'll be all right. Let's go. Club statement on Marcus Rashford. Simon Peach. Time frame. What's the time frame on Rashford? Oh. It's a few games. Can't give details on it. You have to see how it develops. Luke Shaw, Garnacho updates. Both not available. Is it a few games on Garnacho and Shaw? Garnacho definitely. Luke Shaw he expects back. Short notice. Simon Stone asking a question. Will you have to rely on Anthony Martial now Marcus Rashford is out? No. Just be blunt. No. So it's sleepy, ten Hag. Yeah, he's just like, ten Hag's just not having none of it today. Is Anthony Martial under consideration to start tomorrow night? And ten Hag saying he's ready. He's ready to start. So are we saying Anthony, Sancho, Martial? Is that what we're cooking with? If you're new to the channel, by the way, smash a like on the video, subscribe. Praying Martial stays fit, by the way. Absolutely praying. Against Everton, he was ready to start, but didn't want to risk it. 12 years at United, coming towards the end of your contract, David. This is from Samuel Luckhurst. De Gea sat there. Oh. It's time to focus on games. Political answer, of course. Yeah, it's just battering it off, basically. De Gea's focus on the football. We're not talking about contracts. With Christian Eriksen coming back, how much more dangerous are we as a side? A bit of a shit question, that, to be honest. The balance is much better with Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. The chemistry them two have, undeniable. Like Dirty Dancing. She's like the wind through my trees. next to me. Key passes, final passes, certain defensive actions as well. Eriksen's a really important player. Was top of assist or getting near top of the assist charts, which he was, to be fair, before Andy Carroll snapped him. He unlocks defences. Thanks for a waste of a question, pal. Neil Custis from the Sun. Boo. Boo. Saying, isn't it time for Martial to step up? We haven't seen the best of him for a long time. Said going at him. So you said I defended him, but look at the stats. Against Man City, against Liverpool, when he's in a team, we play our best football and we get the best results as a team. I mean, it's a pretty good answer if you're going to send an answer back in it. Neil Custis always asks, fuck it, I hate him. Adam from the United Stands asking a question to David. Clean sheet record. When he's being criticised, do the stats like the clean sheets per game and the highest in the league? Is that more important to him? He's saying not just for him, for the team, it's good. The criticism is always going to be there. I'm always trying my best. You can't please everyone. Sort your distribution out, David. Most important thing is keeping clean sheets and helping the team to do it. Is Harry Maguire in contention to start the game tomorrow? Every game he's in contention. Barry Maguire. Barry Maguire. Drinks the vodka, he drinks the Jaeger. His head's massive. He's happy with the depth. He's happy with how the team's defending. He's got a great goalie. Is he happy with that, though? Because scouts have watched Diogo Costa. Scouts have watched David Raya. Something going on there. It's a process, and we have to keep this process going. We're not satisfied. We want to do more. We want to win more. And clean sheets is always the base of it. Ten Hag's on smoke today. Oh, good question. The development of Marcel Sabitzer. Finally, we get a good question. Very front as well. Are you thinking about signing him? That's what you just said. And Ten Hag was like, he shoots really well in the dressing room, in the game. He's an intelligent player. Seems happy with Sabitzer, to be fair. See Sabitzer and McTominay come a lot in the box. Hey up. We want to be dynamic. We want to surprise opponents. Become difficult to read our game. Surprise, mother. defend with 11 players, and I want my team to attack with 11 players. Risky. But the risk pays off, right? The risk pays off. You know what I'm saying? There's a bit of a gap there. That down. Flex is asking a question. David, you recently broke the clean sheet in our club's history. How does it feel to be in such esteemed company beating Peter Schmeichel's record? Bit of a suck-up question, if you ask me. He's very proud. Very, very proud. He knows. He's been around the block, David. He's done this for years. Getting asked about Sevilla. Oh, yeah. Europa League press conference, and you're actually being asked about the team tomorrow. Did you look at that? What are you expecting from Sevilla tomorrow? We were talking about the prestige and the history. He's obviously going to balance it with that because they're having a shit season, if being completely honest. But he'll poke at that to say, like, so the players don't lack complacency. If we want to beat him, we have to play our best football. And everyone has to deliver their best performance. If you don't do it, we're going to have a problem. We're fully focused and we're fully prepared. Nobody got the balls to ask De Gea about his distribution. That's a good point, Shah. It's a good point. They don't want to poke them. They don't want to, apart from Neil Custis is the only one but he asked a shit question. De Gea's been asked, does this feel different to previous managers? New players, winning mentality. Manager brings winning mentality. I feel like that geezer who's decided Jeremy Kyle is doing all, he's doing sign language. Dressing rooms really close together. Everyone's enjoying the process at the minute. Which is nice to hear. Still in 3 competitions this season. If you haven't liked the video, please do. And please subscribe if you're new to the channel, of course. Anthony hasn't scored in the Premier League since October. Do you expect more from him? Wow. Interesting. Oh, he stuttered a little. Stuttered a bit there. Kind of threw him off a bit, that question. He did score against Betis, a really important goal after Betis. He did score against Barcelona, the winner. You can't say they're not big games. Not a bad reply. Little Roger Federer backhand there. Little backhand. 15 love. But he's also admitting as well at the same time, like, he has to step up. He's a fighter. He likes challenges. With him in the team, teams are winning. That's why he's often selected, because he brings them qualities. He can kill opponents. Ah. He's killing the left full back. Drinks the vodka, he drinks the Jaeger. His head's massive. Last question of the press conference is coming up. Eric coming back to Marcus. He's been in the form of his life. How's he taking the news that he'll be out for a while? What can you do to keep his spirits up? He's going back to New York, mate. He's got a pastrami sub on the go. He's optimistic. He knows he'll return quickly. Don't worry about it. He didn't say it like that. Any idea how long yet? Goldbridge tweeted 5 to 8. It's not 5 to 8 weeks. Couple of games, few games. And that is the end of the press conference. The Europa League ones are usually quite long, aren't they, in fairness? So we'll have a little recap when I can turn this mundane crap MUTV bloody absolute polished media codswallop crap. Now I've turned it off. So we'll go through a couple of the quotes. We'll have a little quick recap. There's a lot to get through, so I'm not going to go through every single quote because, like I said, there's always a lot of questions in the Europa League. Let's go through some. So on Anthony Martial, Ten Hag said, when he's in the team, we play our best football and we have our best results as a team. I defend him because I point to the stats and see how he contributes. On Christian Eriksen, he's a really important player. I think he had 7 or 8 assists in the league, which tells the story. He's an important player. I think with the balance of the midfield was good with Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro, the balanced player, the lineup player. Eriksen can support him, but also go to the final part of the game, can create chances with key passes. On Marcus Rashford, he said he's going to be out for a few games. So will he miss the Sevilla tomorrow, Forest away, and then maybe the Sevilla game, the return leg? Hopefully not too long, and then he can come back for the FA Cup, Brighton. That's obviously a massive game where we're going to need him. Literally, the statement on Marcus Rashford was a few games. That is the statement. I can't give more details. We don't know the finer details. So let me have both Garnacho and Luke Shaw not available. Definitely the injury of Garnacho is more severe, so Garnacho is going to be out for a bit longer. But I expect Luke Shaw back on short notice. So maybe Luke Shaw will be ready for the weekend. Maybe it's a bit of smokescreen and he'll be ready for this weekend, for the game tomorrow. Apologies. And yeah, that's pretty much, I think there was other questions, but a lot of them was just boring. I did like the question on Sabitzer, actually, to be fair. So let me pull up the quote from that. Oh, David De Gea got asked about the clean sheet record and how he feels beating it, etc. But he says, when we keep a clean sheet, that means the team and I did a good job. The criticism is always there. You cannot please everyone. I always try my best. We're doing a great job together. So that's from David De Gea. I'm trying to. Sabitzer. Here's the quote on Sabitzer. Sorry, Sabitzer's doing fantastic. He adjusted well to United and the Premier League. He's a great person and suits the dressing room really well. He's an intelligent player, and we're happy with his role at the minute. We want to play dynamic and surprise opponents, make it difficult to read our game. We defend with 11 and attack with 11. So we work on that every day, and every game we have to improve every single day. Anymore on Anthony, he got asked poked a little bit about Anthony. He says, of course, we expect frontline players to be a threat, but also have an effect in the final third. He has had an effect in the final third. He has to work on that, but he's a young player. He's scored in big games, and if you can do it in such games, you can do it in Premier League games, basically. Now, Anthony's always going to come in for criticism. Naturally, Brazilian flair, got a bit of bite about him. Rival fans are always going to target him a bit. And it is a transitional season. He's not been amazing, but he scored some really important goals, some really nice goals as well, in fairness. Scored on his debut against Arsenal. He scored against City, even though we got battered. Scored the winner against Barcelona. Scored against Everton, I believe, in the FA Cup. Like, he scored some good goals, some important goals, but he's also had underwhelming performances where people are getting frustrated with him, where he's not running at his man enough. He's losing the ball. He's not putting crosses into the box. So it is frustrating at certain times, but I do think, like with Jadon Sancho as well, when you bring in that focal number 9, that guy you can link up with. When Sancho was at Dortmund, he had Erling Haaland as his focal point to play into. If you can bring in a player like that, like let's say, for example, you brought an Ivan Toney or Harry Kane and put him as our number 9, yeah, the players around them would just naturally benefit straight off the bat naturally benefit. Because when we've got Weghorst in the middle, with all due respect, teams aren't worried about Weghorst. They're not worried about him dropping because he can't even play. His touch is poor and his passing isn't great. So they're not worried about that dynamic at all. You bring a Harry Kane into that, you bring someone like whoever it is you choose to go get, it automatically becomes dangerous as fuck. And the wide players start getting a lot more space because they're focused on a Harry Kane dropping deep and they're being dragged with him. So the space goes in behind. Now, that was the initial plan with Weghorst, but because Weghorst isn't as good on the ball and he's not as technically efficient as some of the other players we've just been talking about, we lack sometimes. We lack. And that's why when Martial comes into the team, it's better. He benefits everyone. You've seen that. Rashford's relationship with him, even Sancho. And I'm sure Anthony will start developing that as well. So I'm not saying these players around him need a striker to be better, but it doesn't. It helps. It helps. Do you know what I mean? Look at, if Casemiro wasn't in the team, do you think Christian Eriksen would be performing how he is? Do you think, it's a bit sort of alongside Casemiro if it was someone else? Like, obviously, other players around you help unlock you a bit. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We're almost on 1,460, so if you can contribute to that, that'd be absolutely amazing. It's not why they're bringing in a fan channel representation and questioner. In a way, it's censorship, but asking a nice way to go. Are you going to the semi-final? I've applied for ticket. Just wait to hear back. We'll apply for it, but whether we'll hear anything back or not, I'm not entirely sure. This team could look very different in 2 years, especially if he is ruthless. How ruthless can you be, though, when the owners have just announced that they're going to accept a third round of bidding? So what's our summer transfer window going to look like? Are we going to be able to buy players? Are we going to be able to get the targets that we're looking at now? Frimpong, Kane, whoever it is who we want to bring in. How are we going to pay for them players? Because the Glazers will pull the purse strings until they sell. And then I think the way it's going to go, it'd be similar to last year. We get into August, panic stations, we start throwing money at loads of players, and then they end up signing, but maybe we get the wrong players. Maybe we don't get the first initial targets, and that's annoying because last summer we went in for Darwin Núñez, didn't get him. We went in for Yuri Timber, didn't get him. Like we went in for Frankie de Jong for 12 weeks, didn't get him. So you tell me we'll have another transfer window like that again? Like, really? I can't be asked with that. I really can't be bothered with it. So, yeah, look, but we don't have a say in it, do we? Typical United fans don't have a say in it. But look, this has been the press conference reaction. We're going to dive into some Jude Bellingham news later on. That's going to be on the show for me and a couple of the lads. So make sure you come and tune in from 7 o'clock. We'll be live with breaking news and a load of other topical stuff, obviously, coming out as well. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, smash a like on the video. Check us out on socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok for clips from the show, up-to-date news, quotes from the press conference, everything. Everything you need is there. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a lovely day. Take care. Peace.